Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. All right, here we are. Hopefully you came from Wahoo's channel, or if you didn't know about this yet, I do want to let you guys know what we're doing today is the second half of our top 10. And if you guys want to check out the first half of that, you're going to have to click the link below before you watch through the rest of this video and head on over to Wahoo's channel so you can see the first half of our top 10 because we're going to be covering number 4, 3, 2, and 1 in this segment. So make sure you get on over there, watch the first half so you can see 10 through 6, and then head on back over here for this one. All right, guys, we're going to get dived right on into it. And basically, just, if you didn't already know, what we're doing is we're basically coming together. Each of us brought 5 books, and we put them in the list that we think they're the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in our eyes, and then our number 5 book has fought, our number 4 books have fought, and our number 3 books have fought to determine the number 10 through 6. And now we're going to finish that off, and we're going to get the last 4 books. And so we're giving it to Wahoo for his second book on his list. And yeah, well, then
All right, let's get into it. All right. Well, number 2 on my list is Gambit number 1, which is another book you can find on eBay between $5 and $10. If you do watch the videos on my channel, something I talk about all the time is that I think it's good to invest in the first solo series of certain characters, because once people start getting priced out of first appearances, then they start turning to the first solo series. I mean, Wolverine is a great example. Of course, his first appearance, Hulk 181 or 180, depending on who you are, is a very pricey book. So people have turned to his first solo series now as a great key to pick up. And that book has climbed quite a bit in value in the last few years because of that. And in my very last video that I did, I was talking about Wonder Man keys, and just a week ago. And in this past week, it's gone from a book I found last year for $1 to $20 to $25 on eBay right now. And so I think investing in solo series of characters is a good idea. And so I have Gambit is in the place here. I think other ones that are good around that same time period are like Rogue number 1 or Storm number 1. But I'm personally very fond of Gambit, so that's why I'll put him here. And I don't understand why this book is so cheap right now. I really love this book. I love Gambit. Has a big following. And so I think it's a great key that's pretty affordable that you can pick up right now. So that's for me, number 2. What about you, Jay? What do you have?
And what, just to cover, what can you pick that up for?
At 5 to 10, I was looking on eBay
5
sold
to 10
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking at auctions, some people pay whatever, but if you're just, put a bid on auction, you should be able to get it for under 10.
That's not bad. That's got that hard cover too, so you should be able to see.
Yeah. Any texture show
in a picture. Yeah, whether it's. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get my book. Man. That's going to be hard. All right. So my number 2 book that's battling the Gambit number 1 is X-Force 11. And it's the first true Domino. As it says here on the thing, it's the first appearance of the quote real Domino, which and it's got this cool cover, like Rob Liefeld cover. It is an early Deadpool. It's not like the 3rd or 4th appearance or anything. It's within the first year, though, of the creation of Deadpool. So it's a very early Deadpool appearance in that book. So it's kind of got it some extra key significance going for it. Not only is it the first appearance of Domino, but it's an early Deadpool appearance, and additionally, it's got just a really cool the Rob Liefeld cover. Like we were kind of in. If you guys didn't watch his, you should definitely go watch Wahoo's. The video, the first half of this posted on Wahoo's, because yeah, sometimes the covers can be the difference makers when these books are really close. Um, and there's also some other things going on with this book that it's just we don't really know, but she was in Deadpool 2. The same character named Claudine Auger is the actress that played Domino in Deadpool 2. And she's really cool scenes. She has a really it's a cinematic mutant superpower. It, it it's one of those things too. Like I remember kind of growing up, I always thought her superpower was a little bit silly. But then when you see it in a movie, and oh man, her superpower is very cinematic, right? Just the things that you can do with her mutant factor of luck. And that's what they did in that Deadpool 2 movie. She's not in it a lot, but when she is in it, boy does she shine. And I don't know because hey, we know guys, Marvel is now bought the rights to all this X-Men franchise, and they've said that Ryan Reynolds is going to be able to make the Deadpool 3, and we're hearing, things coming out about Deadpool 3 happening, but I don't think there's been any confirmation that Claudine Auger's coming back um, to reprise her role as Domino. So I feel like that's partially why the book's falling, because you can find copies of this right now for $10. Now there are some sold listings a bit higher of really nice looking copies like 9/8 candidates that are going for 30. But I mean, you can get an above 9 if you just want to get the raw. I think it's a good book to own, especially if you can find it for $10.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
not conceding right away on
Yeah, great pick. And I really like yours because I think it has been higher than $10 at some point, right? Like
yeah,
probably like the Gambit book never has been high. So we know that the X-Force 11 can get there, and especially obviously if Domino is in the actual MCU. Deadpool of course hasn't been in the actual MCU yet.
exactly.
And so I do like that book quite a bit. So I'm actually I'll bow out. I'll concede I'll concede on this one.
Okay.
I do think it's a great book to be picking up. And again, we have had her at least in a recent movie property. We haven't had Gambit in anything recently. He was in like one of the older Wolverine movies, but
that's not saying that I don't want.
Sure, yeah, I want all these books.
A really nice presenting Gambit 1. I mean, that's why Gambit 1's number 4 on the list.
Right. Yeah, right.
He rightfully deserves that number 4 spot. That is I almost bought a copy yesterday, but it wasn't. It wasn't CGC worthy. So
sure, yeah.
So I passed, but it's a cool book. I saw it for $10. I'm just waiting to find that really nice copy. I'll give 20 for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so we'll put Gambit at number 4.
It's a good book. It's got a good cover too. That full black cover.
It is nice. I like the X-Force one better, but the Gambit one's nice.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving you props.
Thank you.
I like X-Force 11 better too. I'm not.
Yeah, all right. Just trying to make me feel better, ease my pain.
Yeah, ease your pain a little bit.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, while we're talking about Deadpool, that will bring me to my number 1 pick. So I have X-Force number 2. Which you can find for $10 to $20 on eBay. And this contains the second appearance of Deadpool. So as I mentioned, once people start getting priced out of first appearances, then they start looking for other keys, and second appearances are something that they will often turn to. And again, this is another book. I don't understand why it's so low. I mean, Deadpool is the biggest character of his time frame.
Isn't it another first appearance?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, it's a multi-key. I haven't finished yet, but certainly the big draw is Deadpool's second appearance.
Deadpool's
But
second
what I love is exactly,
and it's a cover. He's on the cover,
and he's on the cover. And he's on the cover, and he's on the cover with the other person's first appearance. Another Rob Liefeld cover. Yeah, those are. Yeah. A lot of people don't like him, but I grew up that era. I like Rob Liefeld.
I'm buying it all the time.
We're together on that.
Yeah.
And it does, like, this is what I always love with my keys, if they or my investments, if they have secondary key purposes too. And so it does contain the first appearance of the new Weapon X, otherwise known as Garrison Kane. And I talked about in the video that's on my channel, I really love kind of the Weapon X story. And I think it's a really untapped, has a lot of untapped potential. And so if that is explored in a Disney Plus show at some point, or a Hulu show, then you could see Garrison Kane come. And then this book, becomes obviously so much more valuable. And he also is on the cover. So it's both it's a great cover for both of those characters. And so I'm going to put that at my number one spot. What about you, Jacob?
And just I want to say, my memory serves, you can get copies of that raw, $10 to $15, right?
Yeah. I saw 10 bucks, up to 20, but you definitely can find it for 10.
20, but for a really nice one.
Yes.
That's probably a gradable copy.
Yeah.
And just to cover one more final point on your book, that because I know this one too. How much does his first appearance go for? $1,000.
A lot more than 10 to 20. That's for sure.
Maybe a $500 raw book.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying there's such a big difference.
How is this? Yeah, that is a good choice. Hurting me with that one here. Hurting me with that one. I almost put that one on the list too, but I was like, I hemmed and hawed on it. Glad. All right. So we're gonna go to my number one, and it is also a hot one. I mean, we're bringing the heat on number one. So my number one is X-Men 158, and it is it's tied with is it ROM
32, I think.
32, I think. Yeah. So it's tied for the second appearance of Rogue, and it is her first, or tied again for her first cover. So it's there's some confusion going on there, but it's her second appearance, tied for first cover, right? Now, I've heard this kind of talked about a lot, and it's pretty well decided in the comic book community that X-Men 158 comes before ROM 32 in continuity, though they both did come out the same week, which is the reason for the tie, the reason it's called a tie on the CGC label. Again, I have all these books. Oh man, because they're going for good prices now, guys. I know people are just, these are good books that are going reasonably low. So yeah, it's just got a really cool cover too. I don't know off the top of my head. It's a Dave Cockrum cover, and it's just a really cool cover. You've got Rogue kind of punching out Wolverine, one of the most famous X-Men that there is, right? And you got Storm in the background trying to zap Rogue. And I mean, there's so much that can be said about Rogue. She is a mainstay X-Men character now. She she was not originally there. You know, she's not a giant size X-Men edition. She did come in later, but since her appearance and since her joining the X-Men in 171,
Yeah, it's something like that. I
I
think
think
that's right.
it's
I think
171.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Since then, she has become one of the most popular characters in the X-Men. She continues to have a main role on an X title at least
Mhm.
to this day. So she's been on an X-Men team for 30 plus years now in a book coming out monthly. She's just super popular. You can't deny the without even stepping foot into what Fox did for her character in that first X-Men movie or any of that, just pure comic book fans. This is a character with a lot of history now. And I mean, we've got the whole thing going on with her stealing Miss Marvel's powers,
Mhm.
and she's just she's just a super cool character. I've always been a really big fan of hers, and her first appearance, another reason that this book gets the spot instead of her first appearance is because not only can you find this book raw, there are sold listings $15 to $20 on eBay. So it's a very and these are well presenting copies. This is one of
Mhm.
those red covers that tends to fade real easy. And so you can kind of tell in the pictures whether or not it's a good copy just because it has this black spine too. It has a black spine. So it's real easy to see in pictures whether it has spine ticks, how bright this red pops, all those kinds of things. And I was really surprised to see that, you know, $15 to $20 for the first cool cover that Rogue's on, canonically.
Yeah, right.
Tied for with Rom, but it's a cooler cover than Rom.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
ROM cover's not bad. I'm not saying the ROM cover is throw it away like Avengers 10,
Yeah.
Avengers Annual. So that I kind of feel like that does need to be covered. Is that her first appearance, Avengers 10, is not only a really pricey book, it is also uh what do you call it?
Super ugly cover, multi-paneled.
Super ugly cover, yeah. But it's also it's not a staple book.
Right. Oh, square bound.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
square
yeah,
bound.
yeah.
It's also a square bound book, and so it's just real tricky. Just a real
Yeah.
tricky book to find in high grade, and people generally, if they have a high grade copy, it's not a cheap book. You're not
Yeah,
finding
certainly.
these are these are these are supposed to be kind of the value X-Men keys,
Yeah.
and that's definitely not it. But I I feel like that gives this book more clout than her first cover, you know what I mean, than her second appearance normally would have had because
Hmm.
it's her first cover. It's her second appearance, first best cover, and it's the X-Men in title cover appearance. Yeah, kind of it kind of goes with the theme of a lot of these older X-Men keys too, where somebody that ends up joining the team later comes in as a bad guy. So it's kind of this cliche cover that they did over and over again, which also I feel like adds to its I just keep going. I'm not trying to back down. I don't know,
All
man.
right. All right.
Your
Yeah,
first book, your book's good. So's my book. They're so close.
they are. I mean, yeah, like you said in the last one, I want both of these books. I do have the X Force too. I need the
Yeah,
X-Men 158, right? Is that what?
yeah.
Yeah,
I saw X Force 2 just the other day and almost
yeah.
grabbed it.
So you
But
you you fought on the last one. I'm going to fight for mine on this one. I love both books, but
yeah.
here's where I am. I
Okay.
mean, as big as Rogue is, I don't think she's Deadpool. So that would be my first thing. Number two, even though, we gotta,
Yeah,
gotta
you're
pick
not
out little
wrong.
things.
Can she ever become Deadpool?
I don't think she can be dead.
I don't think
she's Deadpool. Yeah.
I don't think she can
I just don't
ever
think she is.
become Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Yeah.
I
I
don't
agree.
think,
I mean, this
no
whole
matter who they
franchise,
cast.
like, do I ever see a Rogue movie? I don't. Yeah, I see her being a big,
A solo
yeah.
Rogue movie.
I still don't see
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
maybe a
We
solo
know.
Gambit movie, and she's
Sure,
like
a big part
a
of it,
big part of
or
it.
even them together. But
Yeah,
Deadpool's a whole franchise, right?
but
Even
I
if you
don't.
had a Rogue movie, it's not a franchise carrier like Deadpool. So that, secondly, like, there is some controversy. What is her true second appearance? Like you mentioned, I mean, I like the X-Men book better than the Wrong book for sure, but it's still not. There's some split in its value because of that, I think. And then thirdly, when you just see the difference between the first and second appearance of Deadpool in value, and the difference in the first and second appearance of Rogue, because right now both the second appearance of Rogue and Deadpool are about the same. They're both $10 to $20 books. But the
not to cut you off,
ahead.
but while you were talking, I had decided that I was gonna default because that I thought about that. I was I was like, there's a lot of things. They're right on the same level. They're right on the same level. They're right. And then I was like, okay, how much is his first appearance? And how much is Avengers 10?
Yep.
And I mean, don't quote me on this, guys, because I didn't look it up right before the show, but I want to say Avengers Annual 10 in like a perfectly 9.8 copy is about a $600 to $700 book. And New Mutants 98 or 89.
98.
No, 89
98.
89's Cable.
87's Cable. Yeah, 87's Cable.
87's
Cable. 98. Yeah.
98. Yeah. So, and New Mutants 98 is about a $1,200 to $1,500 book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Does that sound about
something like that? I didn't look up 98
for
but
98,
but definitely
you know me, I'm
higher.
a bit more in the I'm a bit more in the graded world than the raw world,
right?
But yeah, so those are like the graded prices, and then for the next book down, there's just a giant gap. Like X-Force 2 is highly underrated. Yeah, it just is. Yeah. And I think you can buy a 9.8 X-Force 2 for like $150.
Yeah, I looked at. I was like, geez, I did look that up. Yeah. I saw a 9.6. Obviously, it's a newer book, so you want a 9.8, but a 9.6 went for $26 just a few days ago. I know.
And it's one step away from his first. Yeah, that's crazy. That wins. That's the number one book.
All right.
Go buy X-Force 2 guys,
for
$10. Yeah.
All right. We got it. So, all right. Here's the final reveal of our top 10 list. Then. All right. So coming in at number 10, we have Uncanny X-Men number 169, the first appearance of Callisto and the Morlocks. All right. At number 9, we have Kitty Pryde and Wolverine number 1. The first title for Kitty Pryde, as well as the first appearance of Ogun. At number 8, we have Uncanny X-Men 229, the first appearance of the Reavers and the first appearance of Gateway and Tiger. At number 7, we have New Mutants number 16, the first appearance of Warpath and several other Hellions. At number 6, we have Uncanny X-Men 244, the first appearance of Jubilation Lee. At number 5, we have X-Men second volume, number 5, fittingly, the first full cover appearance of Omega Red and the first appearance of Maverick. Number 4, we have Gambit number 1, his first solo series. Number 3, we have X-Force number 11, the first appearance of the True Domino, as well as this awesome classic cover by Rob Liefeld. Number 2, we have Uncanny X-Men number 158, the second appearance of Rogue, and finally, the number 1 Undervalued Budget, X-Men Key, X-Force #2, the second appearance of Deadpool, and the first appearance of Weapon X or Garrison Kane.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job too. Guys, you can get all these books between what, 10 to 50 bucks. So some are a little bit on the higher end, and we got some mixed in there on the low end. And as you see, sometimes that's what makes the difference too, is maybe it's their cover, maybe it's the price difference, you know? I don't know, but I think that's a pretty good top 10 list. I definitely kind of want to go get an X-Force too, honestly.
And I'm the same. I want to get X. I need a 158, uncanny 158.
All right, guys. Well, that's what I have today. And yeah, like I said, go click the link below. Make sure you watch Wahoo's thing. And if you guys do like this kind of content, then you should let us know down below, and maybe let us know that what you liked about it, what keys you thought were good, and maybe like what we should do next time. There's lots of different teams. We could do Avengers, or maybe you want a specific character. And yeah, give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely suggestions for our next top 10 video. What should it be? So yeah, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. And of course, yeah, I appreciate it if you go check my channel out and subscribe there as well if you like the video. Had a lot of fun, Jacob.
Yeah, for sure. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.